told you the story about Rudy, but I'm going to put it on a different segment now. Before I go to the beacon, because before I go to the beacon, these are part of the reasons why people are treating me like an arsehole. The systems oppressed me in my life, my career, my kids, and my investments and everything. These are the reasons why I'm telling you these separate stories. With Rudy done an armed robbery in 2006 or 7. Now that night, Rudy told me to leave my phone at home. It was either at home or in the boot or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but we didn't have our phones on us. Pretty sure he asked us to leave the phone at home. And then we went to the bottle shop up in Kundula. I think we got 2 Longnecks. I think they were Fosters. I don't think they were VB. I think it was 2 Fosters Longnecks. And then he said to me he wants to go somewhere down south here. So we came for a drive down south. He told me where to go. He told me where to park the car. And the suburb where we were was familiar to me because I know that he knew a girl named Sarie that used to live around the area where he told me to park the car. So I thought he's actually going to her house. So he told me to wait there, and I waited there for a while. And then he came back after about 10 minutes or so. He jumped in the car and then he tuned us, let's go home. Then we went back to Salisa's house. And then apparently they went to the room and he was counting money there because he had just done an armed robbery. And I had no fucking idea what he had just done. I didn't know that he had done an armed robbery while I was waiting for him. I thought he was going to his friend's house. So people think that I was involved in this armed robbery with Rudy. So the system thinks that I'm an armed robber as well. A rapist, an armed robber, some incestuous guy, a pervert, a criminal, a standover guy, and a drug. You know what I'm saying? This is all happening behind my back. I didn't know this was going on. This is in my realizations. This is why the system was treating me bad. And I didn't know that they had fucked my life up because of all these scenarios. I only found this out in 2017. So they think I'm an armed robber now as well for Rudy. This was 2014 and 15 that they thought I was an armed robber as well. Because Craig Hector, the drug dealer that was selling me drugs, he took me to Liquorland that night of Renee's party. And I didn't know that they metaphorically plan out my life scenarios for me. Because they can tell what I'm thinking or what I've done in my life. With technology, it's like FBI technology, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or whether they use it for the mental health system or the police. You know what I'm saying? So Craig took me to Liquorland. Because he wanted to see if the system that's listening to me, they were trying to evoke memories of Liquorland to see if I've done an armed robbery. Because they know about Rudy's one. And I was there unwillingly. I didn't know what he was doing. So they think I was involved in an armed robbery at Rudy. So Craig's been taking me around under cameras and to Liquorland. He was relating that scenario to me being an armed robber. And when he was shaking his head, he was relating that scenario to video that he's seen of me and Haley. So this drug dealer has been metaphorically playing out my life in front of me like the rest of the drug dealers. How do they know all my information and who's telling them to fucking metaphorically play out my life in front of me? I didn't know this was going on. You know what I'm saying? There was a guy when I went to Vic Park, a Vic Park shopping centre up the road. When these strange things were happening in my life, the guys were changing the sign. It's a Coles Liquorland sign. This guy was up there changing the sign. And when I'm walking past, he's just looking at me. I always remember that. The sign's still there in Vic Park, Coles Liquorland. He was just looking at me walk past while he's changing the sign. And now I know why he was looking at me. He was telling me that they know about the armed robbery and they think I'm involved in the Coles Liquorland armed robbery. That's what they were trying to tell me. I didn't know these secret police guys are following me around, metaphorically playing out my life. That's what that guy was telling me, and that's what Craig Hector, the drug dealer, was telling me. is that they know about these armed robberies and they think I'm a criminal or armed robber, go around robbing people. Because I was unwillingly involved in the armed robbery with Rudy, I didn't know where he was going. He'd done a bloody armed robbery. Put all these people on a lie detector test. You know what I'm saying? This is not bullshit. And we're not delusional or making up stories. Put them all on a lie detector test and see what happens. This is real. The system thinks I'm some kind of fucking dog and they're treating me like a piece of shit by this time, 2015. They still do it today. Ask Rudy. Ask Brad. We went back to Salisa's house there, they were counting the money. I only realized what they'd done when we got back there, what he had done. So that's the story I just wanted to tell you quickly. What is the last 1, 2, 3, 4, Charlene, Haley, Murphy, the Rockingham chick, Rudy, Candice and Bronwyn. The last couple of stories that I've told you, these are the reasons why the system is treating me bad. So they don't mind me dabbling in drugs because that's making myself look bad. So they've got an excuse for me making myself look bad. But they actually treating me bad and destroying my life based on all these scenarios. But they're exploiting me dabbling in drugs, you see. Anyway, I'll come back and I'll carry on with finally the beacon where I go to.